Welcome back, baseball fans. This is Baseball History in 9 Cards, Episode 7. My name is Andy. This episode will be on the legendary, the great third baseman, Eddie Mathews. Ty Cobb said he has seen only 3 or 4 perfect swings in his lifetime, and one of those belonged to Mathews. He spent hours and hours in his backyard trying to swing just like Ted Williams. In 1952, someone came up with the great idea that he should be an outfielder. One day, while shagging flies, his manager accidentally hit a ball in foul territory. Naturally, he wanted to perfect his craft, so he starts chasing it towards the side. Unfortunately, he collides right into the commissioner of baseball, Ford Frick. How embarrassing that could have been for him. Outfield experiment over. He went back to third, and the commissioner got the hell off the field. It was Mathews that stopped Ralph Kiner's streak of 7 consecutive home run titles. People expected for years that Mathews or teammate Henry Aaron would break Babe Ruth's record of 714 career homers, but they almost always thought it would be Mathews. He had more than Aaron through his age 32 season. Mathews and Aaron hold the record for homers while being teammates with 863. He was on the cover of the very first Sports Illustrated. He was generally a very nice guy, but he ran hot. He couldn't stand anyone who didn't give 100%. Mathews was not always an easy man to like. He clashed often with anyone who wasn't his teammate. He punched the tough Don Drysdale during a bench clearing. That's one guy you don't want to mess with, so bravo to him for even attempting that. One time when Frank Robinson slid hard in a third, tackling Mathews, the third baseman quickly responded by giving Frank a beating, landing several punches to his face. Warren Spahn, "Cat, you get away from me or it's going to be the last day you live." "Hey, get away." Cats. Who the hell owns a cat anyways, sorry. Warren Spahn said Mathews hit him with 3 punches that not even Muhammad Ali could have stopped. Spahn has also said Eddie got into a lot of fights and never lost one of them. He even almost came to blows with Jackie Robinson. He was an ex-Marine and strong as a bull. He's the only player in Braves franchise to play at all 3 locations, starting with the Boston Braves, the Milwaukee Braves, and finally the Atlanta Braves. There's a few people that Eddie Mathews respected a ton in the game of baseball. First up is Mickey Mantle. He said with all of his injuries that lingered throughout his career, he still played like each at-bat would be his last. Mantle had grace and grit. Eddie says you can't fake heart. Either you have it or you don't, and Mantle had it. Next he talked about was Willie Mays. Eddie said he made it look easy. He made it look too easy. That's when you know someone is great, when they make the impossible look routine. They faced each other many times through the years. Every at-bat was a lesson of respect. Eddie said if he had to build the perfect player from scratch, he'd start with Willie Mays, not because of the numbers, but because of the joy. You could tell he loved this game more than anything else in the world, and that kind of love doesn't fade. And he talked about Stan the Man Musial, the most complete gentleman to ever wear a uniform. He treated every game like a privilege. That's something you don't forget. Off the field, he shook every hand, signed every ball, smiled for every kid. When Musial retired, Mathews wrote him a letter saying, "Thank you for showing us what greatness looks like." He didn't play angry, he played grateful. Then there was Ted Williams. What fascinated Eddie the most was the mind of Ted Williams, the obsession, the endless pursuit of perfection. Williams was pure science. Mathews was pure rhythm. One worked by thought, the other by instinct. Eddie said, every time he hit a ball just right, that's what Ted must feel every day. Williams never sugarcoated a word. He'd tell reporters, I'm the best hitter alive, and then go out and prove it. He admired Mantle's courage, Mays' artistry, Musial's grace, but Ted Williams represented the purest form of what baseball was about. Then we got Hank Aaron. To Eddie, Hank wasn't just a teammate, he was family. They came from different worlds, different upbringings, and yet they spoke the same language, baseball. He never chased glory, never flexed for cameras. He just kept hitting day after day, year after year. He carried the burden of racism and expectations with quiet strength. And finally, he talked about Brooks Robinson. Brooks Robinson, you don't make them throws by magic. You make them by caring more than anyone else. He didn't seek fame, didn't talk trash, didn't complain. To Mathews, that was real greatness. Not what the paper wrote, but what teammates remembered. In the end, Eddie Mathews didn't want statues or headlines. He just wanted to be remembered as someone who did his job right. Every inning, every swing, every season. And for millions of fans, that's exactly how he's remembered. He never played for applause. He played for respect. That'll do it for this episode. Hopefully they get better and better, but until then, hey, this is what you got. So until next time.